Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? And welcome to episode 133 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic.
It's the 100 and Larry Bird edition.
100 Larry Birds, the way there should always be.
Not 100 Larry Birds, just 100 and Larry
100
Bird.
plus Larry Bird, because he was basically overall rating of 100.
Larry Legend.
If this is the first time you're seeing us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where we get together every week and talk about video games.
Also, if it's not the first time you're seeing this, it is still the Two Player Co-op Podcast. That's a lot of bourbon.
We just got done doing Cuphead recording, so I kind of
I'm just going to do a little halvesy.
Don't do a halvesy. That's decent. I'll allow it. Did you have something to say? Or were you just waiting for me to do the thing? Where it's, even if it's not the first time, we're still them.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had more to say.
Nope,
like,
that was it.
if you want to get a cool shirt, not like either of us is wearing, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. The reason, so we're trying out Jim Beam Vanilla, very manly bourbon. We should all be very proud to drink. Toast to us. And actually a toast to me, because I have something to announce.
Oh, it smells good.
Yep, way too smooth. A hint of vanilla, not overpowering.
That's really good. I was afraid it was going to be very, like, syrupy or something. Like Jim...
it's definitely
like
sweet.
Jack Daniel's honey.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
It's
this
definitely
is still
sweet,
bourbon.
but it's not overpowering. But Sean, I do have something to announce.
Let's hear it.
I did something.
What did you do?
And it's been killing me to wait until right now to announce this, but I had to get a genuine reaction. And that reaction is that I did this.
Oh. Okay.
I bought Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know what I'm thinking. When I was telling you that day, when I was like, actually, it's down to $31.99, you know how I knew that? Because I put the code in and I bought it on you. So I have no idea what's wrong with me. I cannot believe...
unless it's totally different than the other ones, I genuinely feel like you'll like it.
So,
and it's not going to be like when you try playing Final Fantasy VII. Like
okay.
It's an action RPG.
It's a game that I can actually play and enjoy.
Yes.
So, I haven't been playing Kingdom Hearts 3, but I will. However, I am saying this on here. I'm going to wait until you beat 2, and I'm not saying you have to go right into 3, but I'm not going to play this until you play it.
Okay.
So that, not that we'll be at the exact same point in the game, but then we can both talk about it at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a thing.
I'm looking forward to playing this and also you playing this.
I'm excited to try it. Just listening to first Nick, and then when you came back from paternity leave and were telling me about 1 and then 2, I'm like, I freaking love Disney.
Yeah.
So it's like, if this was turn-based Disney, I'd be like, nah, man. But like the fact that it's like action RPG Disney, I feel like and I've crapped on. I mean, our trivia name one time was Kingdom Farts 2.9 divided by 365 or whatever it was. I've crapped on this game for a while, but I feel like I just had to. It's not that I even had to. I wanted to buy this game, so I have it. I will say this is the first time I've bought anything from Newegg. That sucks.
Really?
When you're spoiled by Amazon Prime.
Oh, waiting like a week to get it or something?
$3.99. So I got it for $31.99, $3.99 for shipping. And then it's like, okay, it's coming via UPS. But it's UPS, and then they transfer it to the Postal Service. It arrived in Collierville on April 15th, which was Monday.
A week ago.
And I got it on Friday. After it was said, it's been received by the post office on Monday. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing?
That's weird.
So then I click on like frequently asked questions or whatever it is about these kind of shipments, and they're like, well, once the post office gets it, it can take 5 to 7 days to get it. I'm like, well, what the hell? Are they playing my game? Like, what is happening? Luckily, it's still sealed, but yeah. So I think I'm now up to 80 games.
That's a lot.
It's ridiculous.
Now, granted, it's a lot of indies.
There's a lot of indies. There's a lot of $15, $10,
games.
$20 games there, yeah. But there's a lot of $60 games in there.
How many Genesis games do you think we had?
30? No, probably not even 30. 25 to 30. 25 to 35, somewhere in there, I would say.
I would have said 35 to 40.
Because we had Sonic.
We don't need to name them all.
Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. We
Sonic
had
Spinball,
Street Fighter 2.
Sonic 3D Blast.
Super Street Fighter 2, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball.
We're not even out of the S's yet. Vector Man.
Vector Man.
Only one.
We had Vector Man 1,
Gunstar
Earthworm Jim,
Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes. I already
Hardcore.
I don't know what number we're up to.
Kid Chameleon, Pit Fighter.
Hyperstone? I don't think we had Hyperstone.
I feel like we didn't own that.
Did we have Hetty or Rystar?
No, but we rented both of them
Okay.
many times. Eternal Champions.
Eternal Champions. At least one
That-
Madden game. Oh,
Deadly Moves or whatever.
Deadly Moves. NBA Live 95.
Yeah.
We didn't have Coach K, even though
Didn't
I
we
really
have
wanted it.
an NHL? No,
That's
that was
18
Saturn.
games. That was Saturn. That's 18. We didn't have Altered Beast. We didn't have the Mickey games. Did we have Aladdin? We had Aladdin.
Oasis, Senti.
20. Did we have Aladdin or Lion King? I think we rented them.
We definitely had Lion King.
21.
I don't think we had Aladdin, though.
Mega Turrican, 22.
Multiple. We had multiple games.
We had Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Yep, that's 25.
Really?
Yes. We didn't have 1, though, but we had 2, 3, and 3 Ultimate. That's 25.
Huh.
We didn't have the Fatal Fury games. Oh, we had Streets of Rage. It's 26.
One. Actually, just one.
We didn't have 2 or 3, which is really weird. That's 26. Rocket Knight, 27.
Yep.
We didn't have Jurassic Park.
Slowing down.
We'll get there eventually. I mean, not today, but that's 27 right there. So I think your estimate's probably better than mine. There's probably a lot of games we're forgetting.
Yeah.
We didn't have Bloodlines. We rented it again. One of those games we rented a million times.
Yeah.
30 to 40, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think that's
Game
about right.
Genie. I think that should count. 28.
That counts.
It's a cartridge. It's fine. But yeah, so I bought Kingdom Hearts. Hell has officially frozen over like this Jim Beam vanilla. Sean, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, one thing I had it on here and I was like, we got enough to talk about, but I want to talk about it anyways. Apparently, they've been planning Palpatine coming back since Episode 7. This was the plan all along. I call boogity boos on that because the rise of Sky. The more I think about it, it's all just like, look, we're sorry that we screwed up 8. Come back. The Skywalkers are rising. Everything fine. We're even bringing Palpatine back. Whatever. We'll throw Darth Maul in there too, probably, just because. You know, I feel like they're just doing what I don't believe for a second that they planned on this since Episode 7. If it was JJ, then I would believe it. But the fact that you've got Ryan's, redheaded stepchild, and I have redheaded children. But like, I was gonna say kids and children. I don't believe for a second that they planned on this the whole way.
It seems a little fishy to me. I mean, I wouldn't be
shocked, but I don't buy it.
I don't either. Also, that laugh isn't from the movie, he said. He's like, I don't know where they got that laugh of me.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if it was on
Lucas's iPhone or from a previous movie or something, but he said that's not in the movie.
Who said
that laugh? Ian McDermott. Endgame's this week.
Oh, God.
It's out tomorrow. We're
I'm
freaking stoked and scared to death.
I'm
at the same
so excited,
time.
but I'm like, it is like bittersweet to me. Like, I can't wait, but it's also like, I mean, it's the end. It's right in the title. Like, it's not the end, but it's like the end. And I don't know. I think we're a ways away still, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the MCU can do with X-Men.
I think we're ways away.
Yes. But like to me, that seems like the next big, like you still have Black Panther and Captain Marvel and some of these
Spidey.
other ones will go on. Spider-Man's the big one, but it's kind of the end, kind of. We got Guardians 3 coming. And
if you think about it, you could literally say, we don't know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to die, at least one somebody. you could make it work then that every original Avenger dies. Like the Black Widow spin-off movie could be a prequel.
Yeah.
But who cares if the Hulk dies? I couldn't care. If he dies, I'm going to be like, okay, whatever. I do not care.
Yeah.
Just go away. Thor, there's been rumors about a Thor 4 coming, so I feel like Thor is going to live on. And he's a lot younger than the other guys,
I think
too.
Thor finally, or they found their way with Thor on Ragnarok. You have to see it. It is.
I know.
It's so good.
I went back and watched Infinity War last week, and it was just as good as I remember. I don't know how Endgame can be better than that movie, because it's going to be a run-of-the-mill superhero movie where the good guys win. Some good guys are probably going to die, but it's like I was listening to some podcast. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying how like Infinity War feels like the Empire Strikes Back of the MCU. Like the bad guys win, the good guys are decimated. Spoiler, I mean really, but like that never happens in superhero movies. That's why when we were watching, I was like, "Well, you were in Europe," but I was like, wait, that's it. Cut to black. Wait, what? Really? That's it? Like he did the thing and that's it? Star-Lord sucks also, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm even more mad after watching it a second time. I'm like, you suck.
He screwed it all up.
Like, they had him, and it was over. Punch him in the face after they get the gauntlet off. Gauntlet. Like, and Gamora's fine. They're all fine. I do love how Chadwick Boseman's been like, why are you asking me about Endgame? I'm dead. I think his quote was, I'm dead, bruh. Just go with it. That's awesome.
You might as well.
Oh, God. That's all I had. Want to talk about what you've been playing?
I've been playing a lot of and nothing else besides Cuphead.
That was a long, like, comma to comma right there. I've been playing a lot of and nothing else besides, comma, Cuphead.
Comma, chameleon. What I will say, which you're not going to like hearing, I think through no fault of its own, mainly because of Cuphead, I've kind of fallen out of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh.
I'm at this weird...
Well, no, I completely understand that.
I'm at this weird part where, like, Kingdom Hearts 1, it's like you go planet to planet, and besides one that you go back to twice for actual storyline purposes, the other ones you can just kind of go back to later on and get items that you couldn't get before. Now that you have new abilities.
Like what Jose was saying.
Yeah. In 2, I'm at this weird part now where I haven't really been paying attention to the story because I'm not even going to bother.
Right.
But I'm to the point now where, like, there were some new worlds, and I don't want to spoil anything. One that I saw that I was like, and I'm like, I can't wait to go there. And I had a choice between 2.
You can't go there.
And I went to another one. And then another one that I saw that I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there.
Little Mermaid.
Okay. And then I did this other thing, and all of a sudden I can't get to those worlds anymore. And it's like my only options are to go back to these worlds that I've been in, but there's like something new going on in all of them. And they're all like super difficult, and I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like they're hard enough to where I feel like I'm doing something out of order. And like maybe I shouldn't be here yet, and I'm getting ahead. But so I'm just kind of lost, and I don't know. I'm also maybe just a little burned out from playing 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are more or less the same game.
Yeah.
I'm so blind on what exactly 3 is. I'm sure they've expanded on it on 2 way more than 2 did to 1. So I'm not having any doubts about 3 by any means, but I kind of feel like I owe it to myself to beat 2.
At this
when
point,
I really
think you
don't, but
at this point,
it's not going to help me understand the story. Like,
I forget, does 2 track your hours?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm at like somewhere in the teen. I want to say like 16, 17. Like,
well,
I'm pretty far
somewhat
in.
close.
I would think so.
A few hours, I would say. 5-6 hours, something.
But there are at least 2 worlds that I haven't even been to once. Okay. And there's at least one, like, final world after those, plus whatever I'm doing going back to these other worlds. And I don't know. I'm just kind of lost right now. But yeah, Cuphead. I'm just in love with this game. I have never been so... It's like a love-hate thing. Like, I get so angry with this game, but it's different than
Bloodborne.
When I got angry at Bloodborne and Celeste.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a different... And it's kind of like what we were talking about off-air before we went on there.
By the way, we've got a couple Let's Plays coming. Stay tuned for that later this week and next week.
It's like... for the most part, none of these boss fights, nothing in this game seems unfair. There's
Doesn't
nothing
feel
that
cheap.
I get mad at the game about, like I did definitely in Celeste and
Well,
to a lesser
you might have
extent,
got
but also
more,
in Bloodborne.
That might have been more your D-pad than the game.
Well, it was also doing the B-sides. The main story isn't too bad, but the
okay.
B-sides are terrible. This, it's like, it's difficult, but 9 times out of 10 when I screw up, I'm mad at myself because I'm like,
Yes.
why did I just steer right into that bullet? Or why
Right.
did I wait to jump so late? Like, stupid things to where I'm like, I know I can get past this. I just need to not screw up. If I just do it right, I'll beat it. I mean, there was a couple fights where I'm like, I don't know if I can beat this, but it never seems unfair or cheap or anything. And it's such a relief every time you beat one of those bosses. Like, I'm having so much fun. I think I'm pretty close. Like, I would say I'm basically in the end game now. But I love this game. I love it. I love everything about it. And that's really all I've been playing for about a week now. Well, since
Yeah.
we last podcasted.
I hadn't. So I watched. Like I said, I watched Infinity War. Oh, did you ever give Fallout to Dad? Or you
I
saw
did
it?
not.
Okay.
Is he expecting it?
No, but he should be.
Okay.
Mission Impossible Fallout's amazing. Yeah, I was like, so this came out on Thursday. Last week was super busy between T-ball and gymnastics and work crap. And then Jordan and Daniel came to visit, and Aunt Sue was here over the weekend. Happy Easter, everybody, by the way.
Yes.
And so I got Cuphead Thursday when I was working from home, and I was immediately like, I'm going to play this.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to have a chance to play it this weekend. And yeah, that's all I've played. All I want to do is play this game now. Like, I don't want to go back to The Witcher 3. Like, I'm like, I feel like, it's like, like I said it last week, but it's like those 3D Zeldas when it took me so long to get into them. I'm like, I feel like I should play this and I should like it. And eventually I probably will. But right now I'm like, no, I want to play Cuphead.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a game. This game is so, to beat a dead horse, it is freaking unimaginative, whatever the word I'm trying to say, unimaginably beautiful. Like,
It's really perfect. It's the gameplay, the graphics, the sound, the music, the
music
character,
is so
like
good.
just everything. It's perfect.
The way they do the animated cutscenes and stuff, and everybody's just kind of like this.
Yeah.
Like, it just, especially if you're an old fart like I am, and like, not that I was around when Steamboat Willie was, but like,
No, but it's not even like that era. It's almost more just like Looney Tune. It's like those. It's like the Looney Tunes we grew up with like the buzzard with like the no, and like Foghorn Leghorn and like classic Looney Tunes. Not
It's-
the crap that's out there
right.
today, but like it's that kind of style. It's just god, it's so beautiful. It's definitely nostalgic.
well, it's like I told Jess, like Jess was sitting there. I was like, Jess, you should just look at this game. It's when Nick first started playing. I was like, you just have to look at this. And she's like, she was kind of like, how is that a thing? Like, what, how is that like possible? And she's like, can I play it? And I said, no, absolutely not. You should definitely not play this. This is extremely difficult. And I have a podcast and I suck at this game. It is phenomenal. This game is, I've never had a game kick my ass so much to the point where I still want to keep coming back for more. Like, it got to the point in Bloodborne, like we were doing the Let's Plays and stuff, where I was just like, I don't know what else. Like, we get to that the last Let's Play we did. We're like, I don't know what else I can do now. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't go beat this next boss in the church or whatever it was. And I was like, I don't know what else I can do. But this,
Well, the good thing about this game is, like Bloodborne, you're like, I don't know, do I suck or am I just under-leveled? Like, why is this so difficult? This, you don't really level up. You just kind of, you can buy a new
just
weapon,
figure it
but
out.
in my opinion, you get the best weapon and the best charm thing within the first 20 minutes of the
In the
game,
first
and there's
world,
no
yeah.
need to ever switch to anything else. So it's like you're as strong as you're going to be 20 minutes into the game, and you just need to learn and get better at it. And
That's the like I remember when I played it before Sean did last week. I was like, it's all about patience and pattern recognition. That's what it is. And every boss has like 4 or 5 forms, but it's all about you will never get to a. No, I shouldn't say never. even like the early bosses, because you just started playing the game. Like, and in our Let's Play, like we've been playing this game for a week now. We're still dying at early bosses. Like you're not meant to beat the bosses on the first try.
Right.
It's all about, okay, here's these attacks. I know how to do this. Then he goes to a second form. I didn't expect that. Now I'm dead. Okay, well, now I know what he's going to do. So I know what to dodge next time I get there. And then you get to the third form. It's like, oh, he got me again. Oh, but now I know how to dodge. And it's all just trial and error, but it's not. It's frustrating, but again, it's like you were saying. It's like I feel like even like right now.
But even when it's frustrating, it's still fun.
Exactly.
I've never gotten to the point where I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Like, I haven't given up yet.
No, it's like I'm even in my single player playthrough. I'm in World 2 right now. I'm stuck on the carnival boss and the genie thing, and like I was tweeting the other day, it's going to take years off my life. But after we just did it co-op, spoiler alert for episode 2, and we got through those, I was like, okay, but now I see what I'm supposed to do. But again, in my single player playthrough, though, I still got to get that spread weapon. I got to go back. I got to do one of the platformers to get the coin so I can get the spread weapon and go from there. The game is everything I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. Period. Like
the only thing I wish it was that it's not a little bit longer. This is almost just like I feel like I say this about a lot of stuff, but it seems like it's proof of concept. It's like, here's a game. Like even when this was new, was it ever more than $20? Like was this a $50, $60 game?
$20.
So it's always been $20. I want Cuphead 2 to be a full. I'll gladly pay $60 for
15 hours if you're good. Yeah.
Give me a $60 Cuphead game, and
so they knew that the game was going to be too short. That's one of the reasons it got delayed. One of those times was originally it was just the boss levels, and they were like, we play testers were saying we need like platforming, so that's why they threw in those platforming levels and did the upgrades where you get the coins and all that. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. I don't know what else can be said about this game that hasn't been said. I mean, I'm just so glad. And that was the other thing. It is completely at home on the Switch. It's so good. It runs absolutely perfectly. I've had no issues with anything, whether it's single player, co-op, anything. It is just that the game's it's so good. Now, I would like to have this discussion right now.
Yes.
Since it's new to us this year, can we include this on our game of the year? It's been out for like a year and a half.
Counting it.
You heard it here first. I wanted to do that too. Because right now, I think Resident Evil 2 is probably still my number one. Resident Evil 2 is still my number one. Because that was something just amazing. But, yeah. I quit.
I don't know what's happening.
That's... Bray Wyatt.
Firefly Funhouse.
Yep. Shark jumped in WWE. Play Cuphead. I did play one other game this week, though, Sean. And the reason that I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is number 80 for me is because I bought what I think is number 79.
You think it's number 79?
I lost count. There's so many games.
If that's 80, okay.
Then this other one's 79.
Yes.
I got a little game.
My name is Mayo 2.
Close. It's called Super Weekend Mode.
Super Weekend Mode?
It was on sale for like $3 and I got 2 platinums out of it. So I'm up to 32 platinums now. So this game is like this. It's by this Ratakilla Games or whatever. They've made a couple of the other games that have been like super easy. Like that's what they do. They make games that are easy. It's rudimentary 8-bit graphics. You pick a character at the beginning, like a princess or a knight or whatever, and they get different buffs based on what you are. The concept is actually kind of cool. It's actually kind of a fun game. So you've got this boss up. It's a vertical game. You got a boss up at the top, and you've got 2 pods that you move back and forth. So they can either go here, 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 here. Like they can't. So the left ones are on the left side of the screen. The right ones on the right side of the screen. All you do is use L1 and R1. That's all you do. And you push L1 to move or R1 to move. You don't have to go. It's confusing at first because you think you push L1 to move left and R1 to move right. No, you use L1 to move the left pod.
Okay.
And R1 to move the right pod. And hearts fall from the top of the screen. Feels like that's a song lyric. Hearts fall from the top of the screen. So hearts fall from the top of the screen, and you're shooting constantly. So there's a boss up there, and then you got to move to catch the hearts. And if you don't catch the hearts, then the level shrinks. It's like in Tetris, like it goes like boom, and you got to kill the boss. You only got to get through level 3 and do you have to get up to 50,000 points. Kind of difficult, whatever. I'm never going to play it again, but I got 2 platinums. Super weekend mode. I'm not ashamed. I am a little bit ashamed. But it was like $3. 32 platinums. Probably, over 20 of those are legitimate, I think. Little House on the Prairie, twice. My Name is Mayo, twice. Super Destronaut, twice. This Thing, twice. Full Blast, twice. That's 10 right there.
10 already. So I would say,
16, 17 are legit. I got God of War, for crying out loud.
That's legit.
I got God of War, I got God of War 2, and I got God of War 3.
Now, define legit.
Not a game that's made to just... I like Telltale games, they still count because you have to go through...
That's what I was getting.
You got to go through 12 hours or whatever. I just... Legit meaning a game...
You bought for the platinum.
Correct. That it was only created for the platinum.
Fair enough.
The other thing I was going to say, I forgot to mention this about Cuphead. I get why Tim Geddes has in his Twitter bio, I beat Cuphead. Although, I want you to add that to your bio here rather quickly. When you beat it, obviously.
I will. Yeah.
But like,
I'll be proud of that.
I don't know that I'm going to beat it. Like
You
you're
will.
better.
You
you're
will.
better. You're better than me.
If you the dragon one that I keep talking about in World
Yeah.
2. But you also will have the advantage of when we go, at the very least, you'll beat it with me doing this co-op, I think.
But my single player game, I still haven't beat.
Yeah, but you can still say you beat it.
Yes.
But I think just like with the genie and the roller coaster, it'll kind of give you a feel for, okay, that's
preview,
how I do it. I still think to me, by far, this dragon boss has been the hardest one.
Even through World 3?
There was one in World 3 that I struggled with. Well, there's 2 that I struggled with.
2?
One is like a flying one. The other one's just a regular one. It's not a regular one. It's similar to the dragon, but whereas the dragon has it's like a horizontal scroller, this one's a vertical scroller.
Oh, you got to jump from platform to platform?
Yes. And it's like the first one, or it's at least the first one I did in World 3. There's another one in World 3 that I beat on like my 3rd or 4th try.
Okay.
And I don't feel as though I got lucky, but it seems like it was a lot harder. Like, I feel like when we do it co-op, I feel like we're going to struggle on it. We're going to struggle more than I did. I don't know. It's just this weird one where I was like, this one is difficult. And then all of a sudden I beat it. I'm like, oh, well, okay. But there's at least 2. There's one that I beat today and another one that I can't even remember what it was. But there are 2 in World 3 that I thought were maybe top 5 easiest in the game.
Wow. Okay.
So World 3 kind of runs the gamut. And I don't know what the final world is going to be like. Who knows what the end... I mean, I assume the final boss is just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think I'll beat it.
I don't think I will. All right, you want to get the news of the week, Sean?
Yes.
This is probably the longest article I've ever read on here, but it's also the happiest I've ever been to read an article. So why don't you catch up on WWE? Tell me what's going
on. Alexa Bliss is going to say who's in the Money in the Bank matches next week.
Is it one show or is it both shows?
What do you mean? Like
Is
Raw
it
and SmackDown?
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's both. Okay. Bray Wyatt has like Pee-wee's Funhouse, except it's Bray Wyatt's. It's Firefly Funhouse.
Like they couldn't make him any worse than he already was, and they said, "Hold my beer." That's their mom. That's
there's
what
your
hold my beer means.
And now Corbin's about to fight AJ.
Yeah, great. Okay.
And beat him for some reason.
We have finally got details for the first time on the PlayStation 5. Sit back and listen to my ASMR. This comes from Wired. What?
I can't find my...
I have no snare in my headphones.
I have no Google Drive on my iPad.
Mark Cerny would like to get one thing out of the way right now. The video game console that Sony has spent the last 4 years building is no mere upgrade. You'd have good reason for thinking otherwise. Sony and Microsoft both extended the current console generation via mid-cycle refresh, with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 spawning mini-sequels, the Xbox One S. Incorrect. It's the Xbox One X, and that's why Xbox stupid naming convention is freaking stupid, and the PlayStation 4 Pro. The key question, Cerny says, is whether the console adds another layer to the sorts of experiences you already have access to, or if it allows for fundamental changes in what a game can be. The answer in this case is the latter. It's why we're sitting here secreted away, is that even a word? In a conference room at Sony's headquarters in Foster City, California, where Cerny is finally detailing the inner workings of the as-yet unnamed console that will replace the PS4. Senior correspondent Peter Rubin covers culture and technology for Wired. If history is any guide, it will eventually be dubbed the PlayStation 5. For now, Cerny responds to that question and many others, but with an enigmatic smile. The, quote, next-gen console, as he refers to it repeatedly, won't be landing in stores anytime in 2019. A number of studios have been working with it, though, and Sony recently accelerated its deployment of dev kits so that game creators will have the time they need to adjust to its capabilities. As he did with the PS4, Cerny acted as lead system architect, that makes me very happy, for the coming system, integrating developers' wishes with his own gaming hopes into something that's much more revolution than evolution. For the more than 90 million people who own PS4s, that's good news indeed. Sony's got a brand new box. A true generational shift tends to include a few foundational adjustments. A console's CPU and GPU become more powerful, able to deliver previously unattainable graphical fidelity and visual effects. System memory increases in size and speed, and game files grow to match, necessitating larger downloads or higher capacity physical media like discs. PlayStation's next generation console ticks all these boxes, starting with an AMD chip at the heart of the device. Warning, some alphabet soup follows. The CPU is based on the third generation of AMD's Ryzen line and contains 8 cores of the company's new 7nm Zen 2 microarchitecture. The GPU, a custom variant of Radeon's Navi family, will support ray tracing. This is a big deal.
That's awesome.
Have you ever heard of this before?
No, but reading about it in this
like,
article, I'm like, this is going to be beautiful.
A technique that models the travel of light to simulate complex interactions in 3D environments. While ray tracing is a staple of Hollywood visual effects and is beginning to worm its way into $10,000 high-end processors, no game console has been able to manage it yet.
So PlayStation 5 will cost $10,000.
I've heard after the fact that they're being a little stupid with a $10,000 thing. Like, you can do ray tracing; it's not that expensive. Ray tracing's immediate benefits are largely visual. Because it mimics the way light bounces from object to object in a scene, reflective surfaces and refractions through glass or liquid can be rendered much more accurately, even in real time, leading to heightened realism. I freaking love, one of the things I always look for in video games is what the water looks like.
Yeah, that's going to be,
yeah. According to Cerny, the applications go beyond graphic limitations. Quote, implications, sorry. Quote, if you wanted to run tests to see if the player can hear certain audio sources, or if the enemies can hear the player's footsteps, ray tracing is useful for that, he says. It's all the same thing as taking a ray through the environment. You want to know what that sounds like? What do you think it sounds like, Sean?
Metal Gear.
Thank you, sir. The AMD chip also includes a custom unit for 3D audio that Cerny thinks will redefine what sound can do in a video game. They keep writing video game as one word, and it's driving me nuts. Quote, as a gamer, it's been a little bit of a frustration that audio did not change too much between PS4 and PS3 and PS4. There's a lot of words. With the next console, the dream is to show how dramatically different the audio experience can be when we apply significant amounts of hardware horsepower to it. The result, Cerny says, will make you feel more immersed in the game as sounds come at you from above, from behind, and from the side. While the effect will require no external hardware, it will work through TV speakers and visual surround sound. He allows that the, quote, gold standard will be headphone audio. One of the words Cerny uses to describe the audio may be familiar to those who follow virtual reality. Presence. That feeling of, this sounds so freaking cool. That feeling of existing inside a simulated environment. When he mentions it, I ask him about PlayStation VR, the peripheral system that has sold more than 4 million units since its 2016 release. Specifically, I ask if there will be a next-gen PSVR to go alongside this console. Quote, I won't go into details of our VR strategy today, he says, beyond saying that VR is very important to us and that the current PSVR headset is compatible with the new console. So, new CPU, new GPU, the ability to deliver unprecedented visual and audio effects in a game, and maybe a PSVR sequel at some point. That's all great, but there's something else that excites Cerny even more. Something that he calls a, quote, true game changer. Something that more than anything else is, quote, the key to the next generation. It's a hard drive. This is what I'm freaking talking about. The larger a game gets, last year's Red Dead Redemption 2 clocked in at a horse-choking 99 gig. Actually, I think that's wrong. I think it was over 100 gigs at launch. I think it was 107, but anyways. The longer it takes to do just about everything. Loading screens can last minutes while the game pulls what it needs to from the hard drive. Same goes for fast travel, when characters transport between far-flung points within a game world. Even opening a door can take over a minute, depending on what's on the other side and how much more data the game needs to load. Starting in the fall of 2015, when Cerny first began talking to developers about what they'd want from the next generation, he heard it time and time again. I know it's impossible, but can we have a solid-state drive? Solid-state drives have been available in budget laptops for more than a decade, and the Xbox One and PS4 both offer external SSDs that claim to improve load times. But not all SSDs are created alike. As Cerny points out, quote, I have an SSD in my laptop, and when I want to change from Excel to Word, I can wait for 15 seconds. What's built into Sony's next-gen console is a little more specialized. To demonstrate, Cerny fires up a PS4 Pro playing Spider-Man, a 2018 PS4 exclusive that he worked on alongside Insomniac Games. He's not just a systems architect. Cerny created arcade classic Marble Madness, freaking shout out, when he was all of 19 and was heavily involved with PlayStation and PS2 franchises like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and Ratchet & Clank. On the TV, Spidey stands in a small plaza. Cerny presses a button on the controller, initiating a fast travel interstitial screen. Where am I? Okay. When Spidey reappears in a totally different spot in Manhattan, 15 seconds have elapsed. Then Cerny does the same thing on a next-gen dev kit connected to a TV. The dev kit, an early, low-speed version, is concealed in a big silver tower with no visible componentry. What took 15 seconds now takes less than 1.8 seconds to be exact.
All right, timeout. I'm going to stop you right there. I call BS several times.
I'm glad you called BS because I am running out of air.
First of all, I don't think I've ever had a game that has taken a minute to load anything mid-game, where he's saying, oh, even opening a door can take over a minute. Bullcrap. Name one time.
Fallout.
Okay, well, that's...
Okay, not counting Bethesda. The thing I do say, Spider-Man is legit, because if you think you go to Spider-Man...
I don't think so. If you go to you're standing there, you go to the menu, let's go to this police station. Okay. Ready?
Click, it goes.
Okay. Ready? I'm going to time it. Ready? Go.
Fade to black. Subway. Fade to black. Fade into Spidey.
Okay, that was 15 seconds.
Holy shit, really?
You nailed it, but I don't think it's
at least 10 to 12 seconds. Every time you fast travel.
I don't think so. I disagree. I'm going to pull up my Spidey and test it.
Are you going to pull? I thought you were going to say you're going to throw the flag. The challenge flag.
I don't know. 15 seconds is a long time.
It is, but like you think about, look, do you remember the videos when Breath... Now, okay, again, we're not talking PlayStation 4, and I'll finish this here in a second, but we're talking Switch. Obviously nowhere near as powerful as even the baseline PS4.
Zelda takes a while to load.
You go into a freaking... What's it called? There's 120 of them. Shrine. You go into a shrine. There was a video on Twitter. If you just go into a shrine and go back out, it is a minute and 20 seconds to get in and out.
No, Zelda had some crazy load times.
Inexcusable. That's crazy. Metal Gear Solid 5, so I'm not just a fanboy. Metal Gear Solid 5, by the time you get into the chopper. Get to the chopper. Once you get into the chopper, and you go and you're like, okay, Oh, I'm going to close the door. And then it's like, fade to black. Fade in. Tip. This is how you shoot your gun. This is how you go to the thing. This is how you go to the thing. Fade to black. Fade to game. It's like 30 or 40 seconds. It is insane. Now, again, first world problems, I get it, but we're all gamers. Like 30 to 40 seconds, whatever that takes, it is ridiculous.
It's what?
Ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm nitpicking here, and I think it sounds fantastic. If they can get load times to under a second, that's unbelievable.
That's the biggest thing that I think, other than like we've said, like GTA 6, we want to go in every building. Like that's, but when I think of like we've always said, we just want the games to be better and play better and all this stuff. We don't need just even like how can you look better than Red Dead 2 does?
Right.
How I don't care how much horsepower you throw at it. How can you look better than that? Like, or even Uncharted 4 that came out, what year is it? 3 years ago. Horizon came out 2 years ago. Freaking gorgeous. Like, God of War, are you kidding me? How much prettier can these games get? Like we've said all along, we want this horsepower to go towards something else than just graphics. The audio thing is cool, but it's not. Well, let me finish. That's just one consequence of an SSD. There's also the speed with which a world can be rendered, and thus the speed with which a character can move through said world. Cerny runs a similar 2-console demonstration, this time with the camera moving up one of Midtown's avenues. On the original PS4, now he does say, now there they say original PS4, not Pro.
Yeah.
So that is interesting to me. The camera moves at about the speed Spidey hits while, and that could just be editing or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
The camera moves at about the speed Spidey hits while web slinging. No matter how powered up you get as Spider-Man, you can never go any faster than this, Cerny says, because that's simply how fast we can get the data off the hard drive. On the next-gen console, the camera speeds uptown like it's mounted to a fighter jet. Periodically, Cerny pauses the action to prove that the surrounding environment remains perfectly crisp. While the next-gen console will support 8K graphics, TVs that deliver it are few and far between, so we're using a 4K TV. I think that'll do, donkey. That's fine. What else developers will be able to do is a question Cerny can't answer yet, because those developers are still figuring it all out. But he sees the SSD as unlocking an entirely new age, one that upends the very tropes that have become the bedrock of gaming. Quote, "We're very used to flying logos at the start of the game and graphic-heavy selection screens," he says. Even things like multiplayer lobbies and intentionally detailed loadout processes, because you don't want players to just be waiting. At the moment, Sony won't cop to exact details about the SSD. Who makes it, whether it utilizes the new PCIe 4.0 standard. Do you know what that means?
Nope.
Okay. But Cerny claims that it has a raw bandwidth higher than any SSD available for PCs. Now, that's where I call BS. There is no freaking way
there's no
that's a
chance.
true statement. That's not all. Quote, the raw read speed is important, Cerny says. But now this is key. But so are the details of the I/O input-output mechanisms and the software stack that we put on top of them. I got a PlayStation 4 Pro, and then I put in an SSD that costs as much as a PlayStation 4 Pro. It might be 1/3 faster, end quote. As opposed to 19 times faster for the next-gen console, judging from the fast travel demo. Again, that is a very isolated, whether it's true or not, that is very like,
Yes.
You are really focusing on one little thing. To say it's 19 times faster than the PS4 Pro, I don't think that's going to be accurate. As you've noticed, Cerny isn't ready to chat about services or other features, let alone games and price, and neither is anyone at Sony. Nor will you hear much about the Can you start a sentence with nor?
I don't think so, Tim.
I don't think so either. Nor will you hear much about the console at E3 in June. For the first time, Sony won't be holding a keynote at the annual game show. But a few more things come out during the course of our conversation. He should have said came. For example, the next-gen console will still accept physical media. Okay. It won't be a download-only machine. Because it's based in part on the PS4's architecture, it will also be backward compatible for games for that console. As in many other generational transitions, this will be a gentle one, with numerous new games being released for both PS4 and the next-gen console. Pay attention! Where exactly Hideo Kojima's forthcoming title Death Stranding fits in that process is still unconfirmed. When asked, a spokesperson in the room repeated that the game would be released for PS4, but Cerny's smile and pregnant pause invite speculation that it will in fact be a 2-platform release. I've read enough words. So I have to really scroll a lot to get back up to my notes. So here's the highlights for me. Backwards compatible with PS4. Thank you, God.
That's huge. I mean, it's
finally,
like, duh, but it's
they
huge.
didn't
I'm
do
glad to hear it.
Yeah, they didn't do it with this generation, and they only did it for a little bit of the generation before that, you know? Now, the only thing that I hate...
Thank God, AJ won.
Okay, good. The only thing that I hesitate on is, like, PS4, good. I have 80 games that I would like to be able to play on the PS5. That damn PS3 with its stupid cell architecture. Not to mention PS2 and at this point, I really do not care about PS2 and PS1 games. If I'm saying that, it's just like I'd like to play Metal Gear Solid 1. That's really all that means for me. Symphony of the Night, I can get the collection on PS4.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what do I care? But at least they got that right. There was still some people were worried like they're going to screw this up and they're not going to make it backwards compatible. It is. 8K support, I wrote in here, LOL, why? Why? It's cool, future-proofing it, whatever, but like half of homes in America that have HD TVs probably don't even have 4K TVs yet. Well,
I don't know about that. But there's definitely plenty that don't.
there's plenty that don't, but to say it's really just like, look at our teraflop. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
the
how many
whole
teraflops?
They didn't say the teraflops.
I don't like that, Raymond.
3D audio, that's cool. The only thing that sucks is I've got a good headset. Obviously, it's not going to work on the 5. So I'm going to have to have my little Apple earbud. Like, the 3D audio thing is cool. But I don't think, like, he said it's a game changer. I don't think it's a game changer. Because it's not. Let's pump the brakes a little bit there. The SSD is obviously the big selling point of this thing. The one thing that, well, we'll get there. Ray tracing. The fact that ray tracing isn't just light, that it can be used for basically for audio too, not just audio to you, I mean audio in the game. Like you're walking around Shadow Moses, for instance, and it's like, oh, I crunched on the snow. What was that noise? Like,
or if you're walking around
the
Stalingrad or whatever it is.
Selino Yarsk.
Yeah, that thing.
It will support PSVR, and there will still be physical media. That's going to be funny here in a minute. It does look like Death Stranding is going to be cross-gen, which means it ain't coming out this year. No. So what I now envision... Well, what do you think is going to happen with Death Stranding? Obviously, it's a 2020 game, right? Or is it a 2022 game?
If it comes out, it'll be at least a 2020 game.
If? You don't even think it's going to come out?
I don't know. I'm sure it will, but I don't know.
I think what I think will happen is I think it'll come out March of next year. And then it'll come back out on the PS5 in the fall on 11/20/2020.
And will it just be called the PlayStation?
No, it'll be the PS5.
Okay.
The funny thing, so there was something like they mentioned how they're not talking about cost. The guy who wrote the article, Peter Rubin, had a follow-up tweet that did not make the article. This is what he tweeted. Me, there's always been a general range of launch pricing. Will the new console hew to that range?
Like HUE?
HEW.
I don't know what that means.
Cerny, quote, I believe that we will be able to release it at an SRP, suggested retail price, that will be appealing to gamers in light of its advanced feature set. Next tweet. Me, meaning that it may cost a bit more, but what you're getting is really worth it? Cerny. That's about all I can say about it.
It's going to be at least...
So
it'll be $500.
That's what I'm worried about. It's going to be $500. So the PS4 launched at $400. The Xbox was $500 because they bundled in stupid Kinect and all that crap. The PS4 was $400. The PS4 Pro when it came out was $400. It's still really $400 now. Everything they're saying here is light years above what the PS4 Pro can do, correct? So how in the world?
I think so.
I mean, I know they buy in bulk and they're going to sell. They're going to manufacture tens of millions of these things. You're saying the SSD is something that no PC can do right now. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
How is this going to... We think it's appealing at $800. You know, like, well, all right, I'm out. I'll play my PS4 games on my PS4, I guess. But, like, is that what you agree with me? It's going to be $500. It feels like it's going to be $500.
I feel like it's going to be...
The Xbox One, the Scorpio, the Xbox One.
I don't think
X
they
was $500
have,
also.
I don't think they have the cojones to start any more than 500.
You can't. After the whole PS3 thing when it was 600, it's like, you can get a second job. Ha, ha, ha.
That was
no,
600?
you can get effed. Yeah. The 120 gig version was.
Yeah.
Or
I think it'll be
whatever it was,
500.
the bigger one. I think it's going to be 500.
Are you getting a day one for $500?
I don't think that. It depends how.
I probably am.
This fall. I mean, I probably am too. It like.
Well, it depends on what games are out, but
that's if you tell me Horizon 2 is a launch game and it's a PS5 exclusive, which obviously there's no reason to put it out on the 4. And then you're teasing that Spider-Man 2 is coming in the spring and God of War is the next fall. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
yeah.
Like I spent $300 on the Switch. Plus the Pro Controller. Really, I spent $370 because I got a Pro Controller with it.
Right.
This will come with one controller, no games. Maybe PS Plus will include PS5 games by then. I don't know. I just like the biggest thing I'm happy about is that they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just making a more powerful PlayStation. Like that's what I want. Like it's going to do discs and it's going to be powerful and it's going to play games and we're not doing anything else. Like we're not worried about cloud streaming, discless, which is hard to say, all digital, sad console. Like we're not doing any of that. It's a box that plays the games that you love to play and it's more powerful than the last box.
Right.
And the last box is going to end up being one of the best selling consoles of all time. I'm super stoked. Is this weird that they just were like, here's a Wired article?
It seems a little weird, but I don't know. I think it's so early. There's nothing really to show. I mean, they could have talked about it. They could have released all these details at E3 if they were going, but it would have just been a guy up there just saying, well, PS5 is coming and it can do this and that. Like,
right,
for the information that's available right now, it's made for an article. But yeah, it did seem to just kind of come out of nowhere.
I almost think what they should have done, just to be as petty as possible. So Xbox goes the Sunday of E3. PlayStation normally goes that Monday. That Monday when you normally go, oh, here's all the PS5 details. Suck on that, Xbox. That's what they should have done, just to be as petty as they can. But I'm so stoked. I can't wait. I'll probably end up buying it. I hope.
Probably.
I mean, I will end up getting it.
Okay.
Let me say that. Next up, Xbox news. There's an Inside Xbox this week. We're going to flow through this because we've been going a while and there's still a lot to go through. The Xbox One SAD was officially announced. Oh, I'm sorry. The Xbox One S All Digital was officially announced. Comes out May 7th for 1 terabyte, $250. Comes with Forza Horizon 3, Minecraft, and Sea of Thieves. 3 game. Did I say Sea of Thieves? Yep. Sea of Thieves. 3 games I don't care anything about. Why would anybody buy this thing?
I have no idea.
I went on Amazon earlier today and I searched Xbox One S. You know what I found? Xbox One S 1 terabyte console with Battlefield 5, $229. Xbox One S 1 terabyte console with Minecraft, $219. Xbox One S 1 terabyte starter bundle. I can't tell what games it comes with, for $250. Xbox One S 1 terabyte console with NBA 2K19, $232. You know what all those consoles do that this thing doesn't do?
Play discs.
Play disc, play Blu-rays, play HD, play 4K Blu-rays. What the hell? Why does this thing cost $250? This thing is $100. I when we were in our text thread, I said $50. No, this thing is $100 too much. If you really and it's the same size. You take out this gigantic freaking disk drive and you don't decrease the size of the thing. What the hell are they doing?
I was thinking $200 would be fair, but that still seems
$179. I think it would be. Then I'd be like, okay, I get it.
right.
But again, why is it not the size of like a Wii? You know what I mean? Like, there's no and the Wii has a disk drive. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I don't get it. Also, so now we've had the Xbox One, which is their third Xbox, right? Their third generation Xbox. The Xbox One S, the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One SAD. 4 revisions within 5.5 years.
Is it possible that this is, I mean, maybe it's probable more than anything, but like, are they just releasing as many versions of their console just to try to pad their numbers and say, well, looking back, look at how many Xbox Ones we sold?
I think so, but like, I don't know. When you can get an Xbox One S with as much memory that can also download games, and if you want it to be an all digital, go ahead, just download games, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea who they think. I have no idea who's going to buy this console. If it was $150, I might have even said, you know what? What the hell? I'll get one for the living room. I've already got Game Pass on the kids. I assume I can sign into it on the other one and just play Gears of War. You know what I mean? But like for $250, this is so tone deaf. And they had some stupid ad on their YouTube channel that they put out that the dislike to like ratio was so like Metal Gear Survive levels of pissed offedness that they had to take it down, delete the video, and re-upload a different version of like, hey, look what we did to our Xbox. And it shows an Xbox One S. And then it's like, bing! And the disc drive, the little slot just disappears. And they're like, like, what the frick is wrong with you people? Oh. Speaking of digital games, Xbox officially announced Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which bundles Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass together for $15 a month. That's a good idea. Very good idea.
How much are they separately? 10 and 10 or something?
60 for the year for games with gold Xbox Live Gold, and then 10 a month for Game Pass. So 160. No, I'm not right.
You're not
because that math
right.
doesn't make sense. Maybe it's not a good idea. 15.
You said 60 for the year and $10 a month for the other one.
What's
That's
15
180.
times 12?
180.
No. Well,
in theory, it's a good idea, but unless my math is wrong, entirely possible.
No, you're right. No, it's 180. 60. 10 a month. No, it's definitely 10 a month. Okay. Go Sony.
Horrible deal.
Xbox E3 announced they are officially doing their press conference Sunday, June 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern. They have said that the new studios that they've been buying will have stuff to show that no one has ever seen before. And Xbox E3 Fan Fest is happening for the 5th time in a row. Maybe because I'm just a Sony and a Nintendo guy, I didn't know this was everything.
Nope.
They give away 700 tickets for $45 a piece. There will be a random drawing held on April 25th, which is when we're going to see Endgame. You get access to the E3 briefing. You go hands-on with games. You get swag and more. What's swag, Michael?
Stuff we all get.
Smash Ultimate. Joker is out now. Version 3.0 is also out. You get Stage Builder and a video editor. Are you going back to it?
Maybe someday. Not anytime soon.
I just it was all about the journey and not the destination, really, for that game. Like I had a lot of fun with it, but I unless we let's do another if they announce the boss and what's a cool Final Fantasy guy and Sephiroth are in it, then maybe we'll do a let's play that. But I can't. It would take something like that for me to go back and play that game. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Switch Pro model has been delayed. This comes from Nike, not Nike. Beyond the smaller, it's translated by US Gamer. Beyond the smaller, quote, budget-focused model lies the development of the overhauled next-generation model intended to replace the one currently available. That wording is vague and, frankly, quite concerning. Nintendo is believed to be experimenting on a number of different things for the device, including usability, improved image rendering, and changes to the OS, among other things. One development source contends, however, that it still remains unclear at this stage who at the company will end up taking the lead on conceptual development for the new console. So, we talked about in here before that there was a Switch Pro coming and a cheap Switch coming. The cheap Switch is still coming out this fall, is what everybody is saying, and apparently it will be dockable. Now, the only thing I wonder there is, will it be dockable without removable controllers? Will it just be a Wii U gamepad that you put in the dock, and you have to have a Pro controller to play it?
Probably.
This whole Switch, they're not clear if this is like the Switch 2 already, or if this is a Switch Pro or Switch 1X.
Right. I think it's the latter.
I hope so.
It's got to be.
That they cannot be that tone deaf to 2.5 years later to put out a brand new, moving on.
Yeah.
And now the wrap up. The Capcom Mini Arcade was announced. Did you see this thing? Comes with 16 games. It's out October 25th. The 16 games are 1944, Alien vs. Predator, Armored Warriors, Capcom Sports Club, Captain Commando, Cyberbots, Darkstalkers, Eco Fighters, Final Fight, Ghouls and Ghosts, Gigawing, Mega Man Power Battle. Did you ever know that was a thing? Pro Gear, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Strider, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. This thing is going to cost €230, which is about $260.
There's like 2 games that I would care to play on this.
Yep, and it's $200, and it's not even for sale in America yet, or for pre-order. You know what this thing is? Picture,
Is it like a tabletop arcade cabinet or something?
worse. Picture, Capcom on the Street Fighter screen.
Yes.
Okay, now turn that into about a 3-foot wide dual arcade stick thing. And then you plug that into your TV and into an outlet. That's literally what it is. It's the Capcom logo.
I need to look this up.
$260. Like you said, there's literally.
We've
what's
already
the
got
second game?
the arcade perfect Street Fighter 2.
We got the collection, yeah.
I mean, Strider, Final Fight, maybe, but that's it.
I think
that sounds ridiculous.
Also, how do you play? You're sitting on your couch. First of all, you have to have a 50-foot HDMI cable, and then you're sitting on your couch, and you have this thing that's this wide. So you're sitting in your recliner, and your recliner is not this wide. So this seems like it is made for just people that have bars that just want to buy this thing and just hide the cables and plug
They'll
it
have
into
one
a
at
TV
Rec
and
Room.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. I cannot see ever using this thing in the living room. It is insane. But if you want it, okay. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 has a release date. It's out July 19th on Switch. Are you going to play that? I forget if you played the other.
I haven't played them.
You haven't? Okay.
I'm intrigued by it. I'll have to look into it a little more, but I may pick it up.
Ubisoft made Assassin's Creed Unity free on PC after the Notre Dame fire. Unity, so this was the Assassin's Creed game that was set, obviously, in France. They're also going to be helping to rebuild Notre Dame because they did such detailed 3D scans of the inside of Notre Dame for the game that it's the best record of what everything was inside the cathedral that them making this stupid crappy Assassin's Creed game is going to end up helping them rebuild Notre Dame.
That's pretty cool.
It's so cool.
I like that.
And they're also donating 500,000 euros. Of course, because it's the internet, people are mad at them.
Well,
Why didn't you
course.
donate this here and that there? Come on. Can't you just whatever. Horizon Zero Dawn 2 has been, quote, confirmed by Janina Gavankar. Do you know who she is?
Nope.
Shiva Kamini Soma Kandakran.
Really?
Yeah. Because she was in Battlefront 2, and then she was a character in the Frozen Wilds DLC, which I still need to go back and beat.
Yeah.
She said to somebody on Twitch when they asked about Horizon Zero Dawn 2, she said, quote, just wait until you see the sequel. You're going to die. I know some secrets. You're going to die, end quote. Now, she may have been telling the person that she's going to kill them for recording this. I don't know. But the most obvious news ever, obviously Horizon Zero Dawn 2, Horizon 2 Dawn, Horizon Zero Night, Horizon Evening 0.5 divided by 358 is coming. We knew that was happening.
Right.
God of War celebrated its 1-year anniversary this last year. There are free themes and avatars on the PS blog. Corey Barlog tweeted, but that's not all, when that was announced. But then he also said, everybody hold up. There's no DLC coming. We found out what it was a little bit later. Also, spoiler alert, real quick. Fast forward 10 seconds starting now. Ragnarok is coming. The theme with the boat sitting there, the runes on the side say Ragnarok is coming.
Really?
There's no DLC coming. There is a card game coming out in Q3. And we just got the trailer the other day for the Raising Kratos documentary. I love that name.
That's going to be cool.
Because it's raising Kratos from what he used to be, but it's all Kratos is raising Atreus, and it's so cool. And that trailer gave me goosebumps. I can't wait. Sean's happy about this. A 13, I guess I'm saying it right, remake is coming out in November.
I was telling you, there was something, I don't know if it was our last podcast or when we
I
did
have
the
no
Genesis
idea what
thing,
made you think about this.
but
Unless
for
it was
some reason,
Zero Tolerance or
it
something.
popped into my mind, and I was like, that would be a cool game for them to remake, because I do think it was ahead of its time, And then I saw, I think it was Wario tweeted
Yeah.
out the other day, and I'm like,
Truman
this
Show.
was like maybe the last I don't know. I'm trying to think of the timeline of everything. It may be the last first-person shooter game that came out that I truly enjoyed.
I think it was like 2004 or something. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Stained. But it's so... Did you ever look up like the gameplay?
I did. When I saw the trailer and I saw
I
it, and
forgot
looked
there's
back-
like stealth elements and stuff, and it's got like the comic book panel, like kind of storytelling. It's just
It's like they said there's like 40 levels or something. Like it's a big game too.
It was-
It's all
I never beat
completely
it.
Single player story driven.
yes. Yeah, I can't wait for this. I'm really excited. Now it is a remake. I wasn't sure if it was a remake.
It's a
or
remake.
sequel.
At first, when I saw the tweet, I thought it said something about a sequel, but everything, the PS blog and everything said it's a remake of the original.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
It looked really pretty. The Castlevania collection was officially, it was already been announced, but they capped it off. They did I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's $19.99, and the 4 games that were not yet revealed have been revealed, and they are some good, some bad. Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2, the worst ever Castlevania game, probably worse than Castlevania on the Game Boy, I'd say. Or am I just hating?
That I don't know. I've never played the Game Boy one.
Castlevania Bloodlines, Castlevania The Adventure on Game Boy, and Kid Dracula are rounding out the collection. Apparently, that never even came out here.
Sounds terrible.
It's some beloved game that I thought... It seemed like it must have come out here, but it seems like everybody's saying, no, it never even came out here. Like, it only came out in Japan, so... Thank you for the work email. By the way, go back and check out our Genesis mini prediction show that we did. We knew 10 games at the time. We predicted the other 30. Right now, we're batting 600. And in baseball, we would be the best baseball player that ever lived.
Yep.
So 10 more games were announced. They are Castle of Illusion, got that right. World of Illusion, got that wrong. Thunder Force 3, I wanted it in there. I didn't do it. Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, which has watermelons and like pumpkins and stuff, and I don't know. But then when I looked up gameplay, and it actually looked pretty fun. Shinobi 3, we got that right. Streets of Rage 2 got that right. Earthworm Jim got that right. Sonic 2 got that right. Contra Hardcore got that right. Landstalker. This is a game that both of us missed. We didn't have it on our individual list when we compared them, but I remember looking at it, but I was like, they're doing Phantasy Star. They won't do Landstalker. I had completely forgot that Landstalker was not turn-based. And it's
it's a game that I'd heard of, but I never really
Yeah.
knew what it was.
and it's really late. Like it's the red.
Yeah, I
bar
did not.
game.
I thought that was an earlier game.
I did too, but I think I get that confused with Sword of Vermilion, which shout out to Tom Johnston. He loved that game. That was like his favorite RPG on the Genesis.
Really?
And it was like an 89 or 90 release.
Wow. Yeah, I never played that.
So we got 6 of the next 10 right. 20 more to go. I think we'll get the other 20 right. And last but not least, the final scene. This is almost like emotional for me to even say. The final scene of The Last of Us Part 2 has been shot. And apparently it was, quote, the most ambitious shoot ever for Naughty Dog. And it contains Joel and Ellie. Now, that doesn't mean it's the last shot of the game.
Right. It's the last one they shot.
It could have been 3 hours from the ending.
Right.
But I think of all the games out there, release date or not, this is the one that's just like, I don't want to know anything about it, but I want to know, I just give me a date. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Sean.
Yes.
Did you know? It's that time of the podcast where we do the Did you know? Podcast.
No.
All right. Do you want categories or you want me to pick one?
Let's do categories. What did I do last week? Zelda? No.
Soda Popinski and
That's
vodka,
right. Vodka
Drunkenski.
Drunkowski or something.
NBA Jam, which I kind of want you to pick. GTA, Zelda 1, Last of Us, Link to the Past.
Was that 2 Last of Us?
Yep. Link to the Past, Super Mario 3, Mario in general, and Metal Gear.
Since you asked so nicely, let's do NBA Jam.
Sean, I had no idea about this. Did you know that NBA Jam was originally rigged unfairly against the Bulls?
I did not know that.
NBA Jam creator Mark Turmel is such a huge Detroit Pistons fan that he rigged his game so the Pistons would have a better shot at beating the then rival Chicago Bulls. Quote, if there was a close game and anyone on the Bulls took a last-second shot, we wrote special code in the game so they would average out to be bricks, he told ESPN the magazine. So he hated the Bulls so much that if you were playing against the Bulls, not with the Pistons, but with anybody, if you were playing against the Bulls, the Bulls were the CPU, and it's a close game at the end, they're going to shoot bricks. Because he hated the Bulls that much, because the Bulls destroyed the Pistons.
That's awesome.
That is so
I can
petty.
respect that.
I would do that like with the Patriots. I'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
You're playing as Tom Brady, you throw an interception every time in the last 2 minutes.
That's awesome. I did not know that, but I'm glad.
Yeah, it's a fun little did you know that's not our normal je ne sais quoi that we do for that thing.
Jenny Sequa.
Sean, that was episode 133. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have cottonmouth like I've never had before on this podcast. That was the longest article I've ever read.
That was a long one.
But I'm super excited for it. If you didn't know, you can find us on nerd901.com. Go over there to check out everything that we do and everybody in the Nerd 901 family does, including Ernie Carruthers, the Blurred Without Fear. He's over 27 yet?
27 probably.
27,000 subs. Doing great work. Keep killing it, Ernie. Obviously, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Kevin White 24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. If you're listening to us on audio services, seriously, go over to youtube.com/2playercoop. Hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to us. We've been gaining some subs. It must be from the Genesis video, I guess.
I'm
okay with it.
Whatever
And our
it
old
takes.
Versus videos, which we've got some plans. If you like audio, and I know Sean does,
I love audio.
you can go to Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and audio services around the globe.
This thing is stupid.
Thank you for finally looking it up. Is
You
that not
weren't
the
kidding.
most... Look up the Capcom mini arcade. I'd rather have an actual arcade in my house than that stupid thing. Because at least it's an all-in-one unit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Put that on your lap in the living room. First off, you're going to be burning up because the thing's probably 500 degrees.
In the Caribbean seas. Where the hot mommies scream.
Hawaii. What is that from? Is that Will Smith? It's got to be. Is that Coming to Miami?
Yeah.
Bienvenido a Miami.
Yes, Will Smith. What is happening?
Nothing. You finally showed me the stupid Capcom thing, and I just had a brain fart. That's it for 133. Thank you guys so much for being here. Until next time, Sean, take us out.
Thank you for playing.